All right, this is completely dry. You see how it has changed from what it looked like before? Now I happen to have a wet one beside me, so I'm just going to grab it so that you can see the difference between the two. See how one is totally white, you can't see the sparkles of the glitter, and the dry one is completely clear, but you can see the sparkly glitter through the acetate. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to make sure to clear everything off there. First color that I'm going to do is I'm going to make the scarves, or the scarf, and the hat, and the gloves navy for this one. So exactly the same as before. I'm just filling in those areas with the glue. And once they're completely filled in, I'm going to put my navy glitter down. And these different colors, you can do the different colors in the same setting. All right, my furnace is winding down, so the navy there is done. And can you see how all you can see on this side is the white of the glue? You're not going to actually see the color through until that glue dries. So while it's still wet, you're going to see just the white. But what I was saying is you can do all of the opaque colors in one sitting, because even if I happen, so I'm going to do like a coppery color for the nose and the broom. But even if some of that copper happens to sit on the navy and stick to it, because the navy is opaque, we're not going to see it through on the final product. So you have to do the transparent ones first and let them dry between colors if you're doing more than one color that's transparent. Once that has dried, any of the opaque colors, you can do them all at once. Now the only thing you need to be careful of here is going around the parts that are wet, because that copper there is still wet, the navy is still wet. So I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally moving or bumping into it. So I'm really careful when I'm applying my glue around it. And once I've got my glue around it, I'm not super careful when I'm going to the edge, because all we're trying to do is get a layer of glitter down there, or sorry, a layer of glue down there. And this particular design only has 4 colors to it. You could do something like this that has a lot more colors to it. The process is exactly the same, but for this class I only wanted to do one that had fewer colors, just so that it was simpler, so you understood the process, and so that the video didn't have to be too long. But it's a lovely way to just add some sparkle to your cards, especially for Christmas cards. You don't have to do it just as Christmas cards. You could do it as a birthday card, a Valentine's card, a wedding card, or whatever. They don't just have to be Christmas, but it seems like Christmas cards are the ones that we do that tend to have a little bit more sparkle to them. So it works perfectly for Christmas designs. And I didn't say it, but hopefully you noticed, I put my piece over top of my oval cutout so that I know that I'm applying enough glue so that my glitter image is going to cover my entire window. All right, so that's enough glue there. For this one, I decided to do a silver sky. And I don't have to be super careful with the glitter because it's going to stick to the glue. I'm tapping the excess off, and anything that goes back on my paper goes back in my container. And unlike the 2 other versions where we were doing burnishing in between, these we don't want to burnish, because if I start touching this, I'm going to smear the glue around. But if you notice, all you see here is glue. So we have to wait until that is completely clear, until we can see the color of the glitter. And once it's completely clear and our image is completely dried, then we can complete our card. So I'm going to wait for that to dry, and I'll see you in the next video when we are completing our card.